Yeah. Hello, everybody.
Good evening.
Welcome to Pregame for Saturday Night Greyhawk. We get started in just a couple of minutes. I am DM Galabond, and I am being joined by the players on the Discord and in the Roll20. The music you are hearing pre-game on the stream is from Pipe Dream Hits. Pipe Dream Hits is music by streamers for streamers. You put it in your live streams, your YouTube videos, TikTok videos, Instagram reels, whatever it is the cool kids are doing these days, and you won't get any copyright strikes against you. And players, how are you doing this week?
We had a good week. Other than the water heater sprung a leak, so that was not fun.
Yeah. All right. Understandable there. That this would not make life terribly fun.
No, but if that's the worst, that's not too bad.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Who all do we have here? I see we have Goonie and Jason and Joe. We're waiting on a few of the other folks. Did we hear anything from our other players about anyone not being able to join us this week? I didn't get any messages.
I see more than I see Talon join in.
Okay, there we go. Casca,
hello.
Welcome.
Hello.
How are you doing? So I guess we're just missing Bob and Marcel. Marcel, of course, being over in Germany, in Europe. So it's a big time shift difference for him. But let's go ahead and let's recap what happened last time and get ourselves kind of prepared for how things are going to get started. Let me see. I need to change something on Nico's. Yes, okay. All right, so that is visible now to the players. All right, I thought it was before, but it wasn't. Okay, last time in our session, as we ended the session, the party had come upon a camp in the woods, and this camp had a bunch of bandits at it, and Talon had snuck into the camp, and he hadn't snuck in quite quietly enough. He got noticed by the sound first, and one of the bandits came over to ask, what are you doing here? And Talon started to engage him in conversation, and as he did, the wizard stepped up and cast Sleep, which put to sleep a number of the other people that they could see. You could see it put at least 4 people to sleep that you all can see, leaving just 2 of the bandits that you can see awake.
Yeah.
Yep. So the wizard's spells come in handy here. And we had rolled initiative at the beginning of the turn, and so actually Min, it seems, is up first, and I guess, Min, if you know what it is you want to do, you can go ahead and get everything started by deciding what you're going to do next. Yes, your spell went off before initiative, and now you are free to go ahead and take your turn.
Okay. Well, so let's see here. Who do I still have? I have this guy and this guy?
Yep, those are the two guys that are awake, and one, of course, is talking to Talon. And he kind of did this, huh? As soon as he saw reflected firelight, these guys just sort of sit down and kind of nod off, which was very unusual for them to do in the middle of him interrogating a customer or interrogating a potential intruder.
Okay, so quick. How far am I away? 45 foot. Oops, sorry. Okay, so I'm kind of keeping in this group of people, and then I want to take my javelin.
Okay.
Which, make sure I've got my. Okay. Okay, and I'd like to try to, after I've let Quint know, I'm kind of like, hey, I'm gonna take this guy out. Is that okay with you? I don't know if he's. Say what?
That works for me.
All right, well, just be prepared to back me up in case I miss.
You're not gonna miss.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, AC 12. Well, unfortunately, in fact, that does miss. A javelin floods at beside him, and he goes, "Huh?" And
I'm kind of like, I should just stick to spells.
Yes, unfortunately, in this edition, as a low-level wizard, you're very, very, very low on the number of spells you get to cast. All right, so that was a movement and a javelin. Now, remember, your round is a full minute, so do you want to stay there? Do you want to move back out of the front line?
Yeah, I think I'm going to move back over here.
Okay.
I don't want to be in the front line.
Okay, sounds good. Even though now, if we recall, for the time being, you do have an effective armor class of 3 because of the spell that Nico put on you. Okay. So, and that's what that little shell around you is, the little indicator on your token.
Okay.
Okay. Nico, speaking of the dwarf, you are up.
So I'm going to yell a prayer to Clang Adden, but no one can hear it?
Yep.
3, 4, 5. It's 5 feet per square, right?
Yes.
5.
And if I've done this right, your aura should move with you when you move your
It
token.
is. It's moving. So that's 30. Because my base movement is 30, so I move 30, correct?
Well, you have a whole minute, so remember you can cover
If I
a
can
lot
get
of
up
ground.
all the way to the group of people, I'd move all the way up.
You can move all the way up. So, like, do you want to move up? Yeah.
And then I'll take that swing.
Okay.
Melee weapons. Warhammer.
You're swinging at his back, too.
Yeah, so this will get to whatever flanking advantage.
Let's see. Combat in 2nd edition.
He loses his dex bonus, and I think it does something else too.
Yeah, okay, so special special attacks. Attacking.
And while that's going through, I'll throw my second attack in because I told you I paid the weapon proficiency for my shield.
Yeah. Okay, the armor
so I'm
class.
attacking at a 0.
The armor class now is the 7, the adjusted armor class, or does that not count any bonuses?
The 7, I'm just going to go with the 7 for now and not doing the other thing. So I have to figure out how to make the tracker change because my plus is.
It's probably something we have to do.
It's the same with the 17 dex. It's a -2 on my offhand and a -0 on my main hand, so it doesn't affect my Warhammer at all.
Right. And
with my pluses and minuses, it's a 0 effectively because my strength and my so I have to type in -1 because the strength goes in. But we'll figure it out later. It's not important right now.
On page 120, it says rear attack is a +2 modifier on the attack roll.
120 of the PHB.
Yes.
And here is Arcturus.
Yes. Okay. Yep. Attacking from behind. There we go. That's the table I was looking for. Table 51. Thank you, sir. All right, so a 7 in fact will hit.
All right, so that is for damage, it is a D4.
Strength, okay, so D4, so -3. You crunch him and he is bloodied after that attack. Okay. Then you get the second attack. So just roll the second attack as normal and
then we'll modify.
Yeah, since the enemy is at you get a +2, you're at a +2 advantage. And you have a -2 on the offhand attack, so it's just going to be the same. All right, so armor class 4, that will hit.
Then I did the damage in it above by accident. I did the sequence out of order.
Okay, so you did hit with the shield. The shield does 3 points of damage. Nico, how would you like to take this guy out?
The hammer smashes his toes because I'm close to those as a very short guy. And then the shield comes up and takes him right under the jaw.
Okay, the shield takes him under the jaw and he collapses in a heap. Talon, a dwarf looms out of the darkness.
And then I'll move forward and take a position next to Talon.
Okay, and just silently, everything, the world goes silent, and this guy crumples in front of you. You can't even hear yourself talking to him anymore as Nico comes up.
Talon's thinking in his head, they had to bring this guy.
Yeah, except it's amazing. dead quiet. I mean, you're not even hearing the crickets anymore, or the sound of the crackling of the fire, or the sound of your own breathing. It's just dead quiet. All right, so that's where you want to be, Nico, is up there?
Yeah.
Okay. Quint.
So Quint's gonna run out of the dark up to this guy here and use his daggers to attack him.
Okay. You see this guy has a bow. He's like starting to knock an arrow and look around for what he's going to do.
So Quint's got that 2-weapon fighting since he's in leather armor, so he'll get 2 attacks this round with his daggers.
Okay.
Yeah, well.
AC 9 misses and AC 11 misses.
All right. Well, he's gonna, since he's fighting a human, kind of go over here into the dark then and kind of try and spook the guy, run in and attack him, even though he missed, and then kind of go hide back in the dark so he can't see him.
Okay. All right. And what is Quint's speed?
Half elf and leather armor is 12 run speed.
Okay.
12.
Okay. All right. Well, that is going to be a match, which means he's not faster than you, which means that he can't keep chasing you.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Attacking you. All right. So anything else for you, Quint?
Nope, that's it.
All right, so then we have this guy here, and he cannot raise a cry of alarm because he is currently dead, and even if he could, nobody would hear it because he's in an aura of silence. So, Talon, you are also in an aura of silence. What would you like to do?
I am going to walk right over this guy and slit his throat.
Okay, he is you can do the coup de grace rules, so you just slit his throat and he is dead.
And
okay.
When I'm done with him, I'll walk over here to prepare to do this guy.
Okay. All right. And then we come to the crossbowman. And that would be this guy here who is asleep. And then we come to the gnolls. And the gnoll leader. The gnoll leader is going to come running out of the darkness right up to this archer here, who has turned kind of to try to follow Quint with his bow, and looks like he's getting ready to cry out something, but hasn't yet because it's not his turn. And the gnoll leader is instead going to try to attack him. And so the gnoll leader will make an attack roll.
I haven't gotten an initiative count yet on the turn. I'm not on the initiative counter.
Okay. Then go ahead and Marcel and select your token. Make sure your token is selected, and then on your character sheet, click the initiative button, and that should add you to the roll, and then we'll figure out where you go into the turn. And unfortunately, the Knoll leader misses, and but he is going to just stand there being menacing and kind of softly growling at the archer. So let's see. Did you? Did you get a chance to roll initiative yet, Marcel?
I haven't found what an initiative is.
Okay. Let's see.
Under weapons on your character sheet, there's an initiative button next to the specific weapon. On the right.
Yeah. Don't have a weapon edit, but I can click the initiative button.
Okay, what weapon are you holding?
I am holding... A two-handed sword.
Two-handed sword. Okay, so let's go back to weapons. And let's go back to weapons here and melee. We're going to add a I think there's a two-handed sword there. And all right, so the speed is 10. It automatically puts all of the speed and everything for you. So go ahead and click the, there we go, 17. All right, now let's see, did it add, yes, it did add Arcturus there. But I'm going to go ahead and bring it up and put you right not right after that, right after the Knolls. Okay, so the Knoll leader has just gone. Good thing is that because of your initiative roll, we haven't missed you yet, Marcel. Glad you could join us. All right, so that was the Knoll leader. Then the archers. The archer is going to shout out, "Get up! We're under attack! We're under attack!" He shouts very loudly. And okay. Yeah, most of the party is too far away. I mean, not too far away to hear him say that. Quint, do you have the hear noise thing? You're very, very robotic tonight, Quint. It's like you have a spotty connection or something.
I'll see if I can work on that.
Okay, so I didn't hear your answer. Did you?
No, I don't have any proficiency for hearing anything.
Okay, then go ahead and make me a wisdom check. Yeah, Nico and Talon would. Okay, you think that directly south of you and directly to the east of you, which would be to the left on the map, you hear some activity in some tents.
Oh.
After he yells for people to get up, that the party is under, or that the thing is under attack, and then he is going to take a quick step back here, and he is going to try to shoot the big knoll that's right in front of him. And he gets 2 attacks with his... oh, no. He's not going to do that. He's going to drop his bow and pull a short sword. He doesn't want to take a chance of moving. Drop his bow, pull a short sword, and try to attack. It's an armor class of 6. And that is going to miss the knoll leader. So, that looks like a stalemate, and he does not intend to run because he thinks the knoll is faster than he is. And he would be correct. So then the gnolls are going to come boiling into the camp. We'll have one will come up here, one will come running down here, one will come running past Talon down here. Another one will come running over here to see what's going on. Another one will come running down this way, sort of get the lay of the land. And 2 of these guys will come up, get right here next to the wizard, because the paladin has told them to keep an eye on the wizard, and so they're taking that almost literally. They're not really resting their cheeks against the wizard, but they're just about keeping an eye on her. And then the gnolls are going to make some of their attacks. So we'll see. These guys will. Come on. Taco. That misses. Then these 2 guys will each attack this one down here. Ooh, that's a hit, and then they both hit. Okay, all right. So this poor guy who's asleep, he just gets obliterated. Then there's 3 guys over here on this one, and they will try to make quick work of him.
They don't have to roll, he's asleep.
Yeah, that's true. So they'll go ahead and just do that, just get rid of him. All right, and but yeah, this archer guy is still up, and Nico and Talon, you have no idea that he's screaming because you're in that zone of silence. Arcturus, you, however, hear the voice of someone up there screaming. There is a large campfire, and the light is playing off of that, so you can see to move up. You sort of see the shapes of your gnoll allies. You see the shape of the wizard with 2 gnolls kind of near her. And the rounds here are a full minute. Since Nico moved away, you are no longer in that zone of silence, so you could hear what this guy shouted. What would you like to do?
Rounds are full minutes, so how much can I move?
You can move. Effectively, you can move just about anywhere on the battlefield you want to in a minute. The only issue would be if you run past an enemy, then we have to start looking at comparing speeds to see if they get opportunity attacks.
Then I would go here.
Okay. All right. And if you wish, you can make an attack on this guy.
I would like to.
Okay.
Is the guy standing, asleep?
Nope, he is not. He was not affected by the spell. He has a short sword in his hand, and there are two gnolls that are sort of drooling and eagerly wanting to visit Clangeddon's justice upon him.
Then I'll try to...
You're flanking him as well. One of the gnolls is opposite you.
Yeah.
Yes. And so...
I get advantage, right?
There's not really advantage in this edition, but you will get +2 to your attack, because in this case, they did not really have flanking, but they have something called defender is off balance, and so that's kind of the same thing as being flanked. So
I raise my two-handed sword up high and try to slash him in half.
Okay,
let's
excellent.
Look at it.
Oh no. Okay. Even with the +2, that's a 9, and 9 will not hit this archer. So this guy is living a charmed life. He's had 4 people attack him, and all 4 of them have missed him. All right, and let me see.
His screams about being under attack have changed to a lot of profanity.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably about right. It's probably about exactly what has happened. Okay, so let me go over here. I need to do that. Okay. This archer here is very much in the middle of a bad fight, but he is as yet unscathed. I haven't seen Bob, so we're going to keep him in the turn order, but we're just going to skip him for now. And Min, you are back up. You appear to have two gnolls that are more or less kind of sitting. Yeah, we'll call it that. We'll call it they're guarding you.
Okay. So I'm watching this, and does it look like we have anything else going on? Do we have people boiling out of tents and stuff, or
not as of yet?
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to walk up between these two, and I'm going to reach on either side of their ears a scritch.
Okay.
And then I'm going to actually just kind of move over here by this rock. And that's all I'm going to move for the time being, because I really don't have much else I can do unless we have a lot more people starting to show up.
Okay, speaking of robotic, you're being really robotic as well. So I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's weird.
is-
All right, let me reconnect.
Okay.
Be right back.
Let me double check. Am I sounding okay to everybody, or is it robotic from my end too?
I heard it too from her and from Jason.
You
Okay.
sound normal.
Okay, all right. So sometimes when you start to hear robotic from multiple people, you start to have to wonder, okay, am I hearing it because it's on my end, or am I hearing it because it's on their end? All right, thank you, everyone. All right, so that is just a move and getting into position.
Better?
Nico, you are up.
Is this better?
I still can't hear anything, so I don't know what's going on. So I move forward, see if I can see what's going on better.
Okay, yeah, you see that you see that immediately around you there are some dead guards on the ground, and surrounded by gnolls. You probably would see up here there is a live bandit that the paladin and 2 gnolls are attacking. Let me just check for your... yeah, you would see Quint probably over there because there probably aren't tents in that area. There might be some boulders, but
So the only movement that's happening, the only action that's really going on, I can't hear anything, but the only thing I see when I do a quick look around in that minute of movement are them.
Are these guys? Actually, go back to where you were. Go back here and then make me a wisdom check to see if you notice anything going on.
Okay.
15 out of 19. Yeah, actually, let me see. Yeah, okay. In 4 locations, you see tents that look like there's movement inside them.
All right.
Like there might be...
are any of the tents more opulent or nicer than any of the other tents?
Let me... Actually, in 7 locations. So let me mark these on your map for you. What you see on your map is you see it looks like there is activity here, 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 and here. In those tents.
And are any of them just in glancing of clearer, higher quality than the others?
The highest quality tent is the one that you are closest to.
Okay.
In fact, you're right at the mouth of this tent here, and this is the highest quality tent right there.
Oh, and I didn't see any movement there?
No. It is bigger, taller. It kind of looks like where you might you wouldn't have to duck. A human wouldn't have to duck to be inside. These others are more like little small, just barely big enough to sleep in type of tents.
All right, I'm going to take a position right here and ready in action to throw my warhammer if I see anyone in cloth that's not wearing leather armor or metal armor.
Okay. All right. So you're taking a position there.
If it's only people in armor, I'm going to hold on to the warhammer for now, and I'll just not use this turn that effectively. But I'll pass at this point.
Okay, so let me do something here. I'm going to do this. I'm going to okay. All right. So then that means that we will go ahead and we'll put it up there. All right. Wonderful. Okay, so that was Nico. And Quint, we're back to you.
Quint's character sheet is not loading right now, so I was going to move and attack, but I can't pull it up right now. It froze on me and disappeared.
Okay. There's two ways of pulling it up in Roll20. If you highlight your character sheet, highlight your token, hold down Shift and double click, that should open it for you. Otherwise, if you go to your journal and find Quint, you should be able to open it that way.
Yeah, that's how I usually do it. I'll just come here and kind of take up position in case I see anything else, and I'll kind of reload and see if I get my character sheet. But for now, I'll just move here and kind of keep an eye out since I heard some stuff last turn, and just kind of prepare in case I see somebody start piling up attacks.
Okay. You can roll a d20 roll if you want to. If you want to move to something and potentially get to where you can attack, we could do that. So it's not like you're wasting your whole turn if there's something you like to do.
I see 3 on the one that I know is standing, and I know there could be something else. So I don't want to shout out to other people until I know for sure there's something, and I'll just kind of prepare myself, put the daggers away, and draw my bow.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. All right. And then, okay. For the benefit of Nico, the activity that you have seen now begins to come to light as 3 people come out of here. These folks are wearing studded leather armor, and they are armed with the following. They have a spear. Each one of them has a spear in one hand, a shield in the other hand, and a sword at their belt. And they come out, and they look first like they want to throw those spears at somebody. So you just happen to be right on the other side of the fire from most of them, and there are some gnolls right here, which these guys know are typically bad news. So they will move up here, and this guy will throw a spear at a gnoll. So With this guy here, he's going to throw his spear. That will be AC 11. That will miss. Then this one down here will throw a knoll at the guy that's over the body of his comrade. That's a miss. And the other one will throw at the same knoll. And that's also a miss. So they all miss. All right. And then the next thing that happens is Raven. Raven, you have seen several. Yeah, because there's firelight. You've seen several people come out of tents. So there's more people. They've just thrown spears at some of your Knoll allies, and they have swords on their belt, which it looks like they're getting ready to pull out so they can attack the next round.
Well, I'm going to kill this guy I'm standing over real quick, and then I'm going to move.
Okay, so take him out.
I'm going to move right about there and wait for next turn.
Okay. All right. And then, oh, yeah. Other thing I need to get out on the board. Okay. All right. So yeah. Is there. All right. That was those guys. The next thing that you all see, Nico, you see from the other tents where there was activity, or from a couple of the other tents where there was activity. There's now movement as guys come out of these tents, and these guys here, they are dressed in, what kind of armor do they have on them? Oh, whoops. They have scale mail armor, and they are wielding crossbows. And so they look, and this one can see you in the firelight. So he yells something, and he's going to step over here. You can see his mouth move when he yells something. And another one appears from around the fire. And this one moves up next to his friends. And the first one right here is going to fire at the same knoll that his two buddies did. AC 20, that will miss. And then the other two are going to shoot at you. So, AC 4, I think that will miss.
Yeah, they need a -3.
And AC 15, that will also miss. So 2 crossbow bolts from these guys come whizzing over your head. All right, that's them. And Then it's the Knoll leader. And the Knoll leader has heard some commotion, and he barks out an order to his pack members. But he is going to... Oh, and Arcturus and anybody else that understands Knoll can hear him say, "Get the spearmen and archers." And he is going to make an attack at the guy that is surrounded up here. And golly, missing. All right. Then the archer. Let's see. Yeah. The archer is the last of his number that is left. So he's just going to... he's completely surrounded. Realizes that the cleric is for some reason fighting on the side of the gnolls. I can't quite figure that out. And he is going to attack the big gnoll that just yelled something right in front of him. So he's going to try attacking him. Nope, I'm sorry, that's a miss.
He should have to make a roll against damage from cognitive dissonance.
Okay, he AC 17, that is a miss. All right. And then, last but not least, Nico, you see some of that other movement finally pays off. Where you see people come out of these tents here. One guy runs out, followed by another guy right into the zone of silence. And then these two guys run out, and they look like they are shouting as they're coming out, but no sound comes out of their mouths. These guys are dressed in chainmail armor, and each one has a short bow in their hand and a short sword on their hips. And for all four of them, the closest person to them that they can see is the cleric. And so they are all going to attack the cleric. So that's 8 attacks, 2 from each one because they're using short bows. So miss, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. My goodness. Okay, so a volley of arrows just flies all around. Maybe one would bounce off, 1 or 2 might bounce off of Nico's armor. The rest just fly wild. So that's all they can do. And they start looking around, and it seems like they can see some people in other areas, so you don't know if they're all going to stay concentrating on you or whether next round they're going to break and run for other people. So now it's the gnolls, and they have heard their captain, and so a couple of them here are just going to run straight past Nico and run up here. Then this guy is going to run over here. This guy, or these two guys, will run over here. And logistically, yeah, and then this guy is going to stay put, and these two guys will come up and take up position again near the wizard. So they will make their attacks. So they have to hit AC 6. These two guys have to hit AC 6 to get this guy up here. All right, so they're going to... Oh, that's a hit. So let's deal some damage from that. 7 damage. Okay. This guy just gets his head completely lopped off by a gnoll battle axe. Nico, you can't hear it, but the gnoll is very happy. Lets out a war cry. And then the other gnoll will attack the guy in front of him. And -1. And that's going to deal 6 damage. And so this guy goes down. Okay, so 2 of these guys fall. Then we move over here, and these guys need to hit an AC 5. So there's 2 attacks. 9 will miss. Another 9 will miss. And then this guy over here also needs to hit an AC 6. Seven will miss. And then the guy up there fighting the one with the leader and Arcturus, he will take a strike. And he has got to hit an armor class 5. And he misses. All right. So, Arcturus. This guy is standing in front of you, and once again, he seems to just kind of defiantly be evading all of the attacks of the 2 gnolls that are with you. Maybe you need to show these gnolls the power of Clangeddon and how he can guide your weapon to attack.
I raise my blade, say, for Clangeddon, and bring it down. And hopefully...
Okay.
Please let us hit. For Christ's sake.
Yes. Okay. AC 1, and then there on your character sheet, there's if you click that
I have rolled it.
Oh yeah. You hit the if you go down in the damage area and hit the button under the SM and next to two-handed sword, it'll roll a 1d10.
It stands on the right side. 7.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go. 7. Sorry, I was looking at your character sheet. I wasn't looking at what was being rolled. All right, so 7 points of damage. How would you like to kill this guy? with your big two-handed sword.
Like I said, I'd like to cut into him from his shoulder out.
Okay, he's just and you slice into him, and he falls down dead. Now, you can move.
I have a plan to move.
Okay.
I want to support the cleric.
Okay. All right. So you run in.
There?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You run down there, and you start letting out a war cry as you run. And halfway through your run, your voice gets cut off, and you just run in silence all the way up. And you see these guards; their eyes are real wide because now there's 2 gnolls and a crazy paladin that seems to be screaming, but they can't hear anything. And they're in bad shape there. All right. So that is that. And I don't see Bob yet, so we'll go ahead and skip him again. And Min, you are up.
Okay, so I run past the gnolls again, give their ears a scritch as I'm running over to Quint and mumble something about, I'm going to try this new thing that I found. I'm going to try, so just protect me for a minute. And she flops down on the ground and pulls out a little piece of spider web. And at that point in time, she starts going through the motions of the spell to cast web.
Okay. And where do you plan to...
Is there a way here that I can project?
I think if you go on... Yeah, okay, there you go.
Yeah, so it basically says, if I'm reading this correctly, if I'm not, please forgive me. It says basically...
No, that's all right.
That... The web spell covers a maximum area of 8 10-foot by 10-foot by 10-foot cubes of webs. And the webs must be at least 10 feet thick, so the mass of 40 feet high, 20 feet wide, and 10 feet deep may be cast.
Okay, so
what I wanted to do was...
Oh yeah, and it lasts.
Yep.
It lasts for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And her range
20 minutes per level. Yeah, range is 5 yards per level. So the minute you have to be, you're what, 3rd level now?
Yes.
So you have to be 15 feet from where you want it to start.
I thought it said I had a casting space of...
Wouldn't that be 45 feet and she's 3rd level?
Hang on, let me look. Says...
Okay, yeah.
5 yards per level. Oh, okay.
Yeah, 5 times 3 is 15. 15 times 3 is 45. Okay, yeah. Sorry, 45 feet. Not 15 feet, 45 feet.
Good.
Yeah.
So that means that I can cast it back here and grab all of these guys. Or cast it right about here.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it doesn't say, the way this is worded, it just says that they're that they are in these areas. So you can basically anchor these webs to the tents here. You could use essentially this tent and well, let's see. What are the distances? Yeah, you could actually kind of anchor it from this tent here to this tent here. And it would sort of get there. So we have to, I think I did something before. I think I found a yeah.
I was trying to see
there
if
it
there was
is.
a way to just have this, you know, how you used to be able to click the spell and it would show up with all the information, but
that requires that you have that loaded in. You have to manually put that into position. Is the way that works in this particular character sheet. So if the player hasn't,
it's already programmed in.
Oh, okay, all right.
So, but it's freaking huge, but I put it out there. So.
Oh yeah, okay. There is. I think I'm going to open up your character sheet and see if it's the same on players as it is on monster spellcasters, because I did this for some monsters. As I go into your character sheet, if I look at, okay, if you click the little box there that says show spell details, then I think if you click the button that says roll spell effects, I think that puts it on in the
since
chat.
I've already done that, I don't want to try that again. It'll just spam everybody.
Right. Yeah, yeah. But I believe for future reference, I think that's how it works. So we'll go here. So there's
go here and we
2. Whoops. Okay.
I say you're probably best just like drawing the cube it creates.
Yeah.
With a line, a white line or something.
Yeah, so we'll go ahead and we'll do that. We'll make that a line, and we'll run it from here over to here, and then let's see, down to like here. Back to here. That kind of, because that's gonna catch most of these guys. If you wanted to catch, this guy here, there's going to be a danger of getting Arcturus in there.
We'll just cut him out later.
Okay, well,
I will at least try to yell at him to give him a heads up.
Okay.
To let him know that
that
he can.
So he can then kind of
backwards. Because this takes me to will go off next round. If there's anybody left.
He's in the circle of silence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's in silence, so he can't.
Okay.
He can't hear anything that you say, but webs will spring up right in front of these gnolls, and it will cover these guys. And for right now, I'm going to put this on the map layer, and that way I won't be inadvertently removing it. If I click on it. All right, anything else?
Nope. I did my movement. I cast my spell. Les voila, as they say.
Okay. All right. The next thing that happens is a figure appears here at the entrance of this big fancy tent. And this would be the brigand leader. And the brigand leader is wearing chainmail armor, has a long sword, and at his belt has a hand axe on one hip and a dagger on the other hip. And so he looks around and he sees a bunch of gnolls, and he sees a dwarf in plate mail that clearly looks dangerous. And he kind of looks over and he sees, well, somebody in robes, but not sure what that is all about. He probably also sees Quint over there. But the thing that looks the most suspicious is the fact that there's this dwarf here, and he can't hear anything from some of his men. So
this guy's wearing, what is this guy wearing again?
Chainmail.
Okay.
He's armed with a sword and a couple of other weapons. So he is going to. I need to just do a. Okay. Yeah. He's actually going to attack the gnolls. So he's going to run over here because I guess he really doesn't know whether you guys are fighting against the gnolls or with the gnolls. He doesn't have any way of knowing that. He does know that the gnolls are over the dead bodies of his men, so he's going to attack them. And he will run up and make an attack, and at this level, he only gets one attack. But he is going to attack a gnoll. And he misses with an AC 13. Okay. Nico. Yeah. Bunch of webs just sprung up in front of your guys. And it got the paladin in the webs as well. But the gnolls are not entangled.
Oh God! Do I know that was probably Min?
I'm
wise. I'm pretty wise.
Yeah, you know because it missed the gnolls.
Oh,
and
sweet! He's gonna totally take that against her.
Say what?
I'm swearing the clang out into my head about how the paladin is going to be childish about being stuck with the webs by the witch that he calls.
Wah, wah, wah.
Just further reinforcing stereotypes here. Wonderful. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
And we're on my turn?
You're on your turn, yes.
All right. I'm going to move forward over here. Drop my hammer so it silences the... leave my hammer here and just drop it. So you can leave the circle of silence here, keeping the 4 people in scale mail silenced. Then I'm
okay.
Just let it go. Then I'm going to come over here, and now that I have my arm free, I'm not inside the web. I'm going to reach out and grab the back of the paladin and pull him as hard as I can out of the web.
Okay, pull him as hard as you can out of the web. All right, so let me do something here. I have something just for this occasion. Okay. Let's see here. All right. There's
So the silence would stay here.
Yeah.
All right. Not there.
Yep. So you can go ahead and move.
Excuse me.
All right. So I'm going to put this here. I am going to put an aura. What is it? 15 feet radius?
15-foot radius, correct.
I'm going to put that on there. Then I'm going to go to you. And I am going to put a 0 radius on you now. All right. So now that silence is on that black dot.
And I'm going to be like, and I'm out of the circle, and so is he. So I'm going to be yelling, "You need to be nice about this." She was helping, and I grab him and I start pulling out.
Okay, so
Don't be that guy.
For the web, anyone here?
I think he'll get a save anyway. I don't know whether or not mine gives him another extra save.
Okay, yeah, okay. Actually, yes. So, we're gonna let Arcturus have his saving throw now.
And
so make a saving throw versus spells with a -2 penalty. Let's do that first, and then let's. I think Arcturus, if you go to your.
Yes.
Yeah, we need you to make a saving throw. So I think if you go to the. Is it on attributes? Or is it on.
I haven't seen it on attributes yet.
It's on the tracker, isn't it?
Oh, it's on the tracker. Okay.
Under info, and then under tracker.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So. Make your saving throw versus spells. So click that little die button to the right of the.
Right. This one, I hope.
I'm just trying to use my action to save his ability to take that action.
Wrong. Against spell. There, I found it.
Yeah, not okay. It looks like it's save versus surprise.
Yes, that's the wrong one. I did do the right one right now, though.
Okay, it hasn't shown up yet, and Roll20 was a little slow for me a moment ago.
Yes, it doesn't.
There's that pop-up window that shows up when you click sometimes. If you minimize your character sheet, it might be there.
I am clicking the die.
Now minimize your character sheet, because sometimes there's a pop-up window
okay,
where you can put in a modifier.
Yeah, then you got to hit OK, and then it rolls.
Yes, I already did that twice. It's just not rolling.
Okay.
Probably just taking a minute. Or have you clicked on your token?
Okay. I see what it is. It's because you haven't filled out the values yet. In the target box, you're supposed to fill out the values. So let's do that real quick. Let's go to the classes. Warrior, paladin. No, I'm sorry.
Combat.
Combat. The saving throw.
Or second.
Second,
the saving throw. Okay, so saving throw for a warrior. All right. I'm going to read off the values to you and let you fill them in. So, in the you're filling in the target column.
Yep.
For
I'm automatically getting a +2 since I'm a paladin.
Okay. For paralyzation is 14. Just put in the values for now, and then we will we'll see if it does the things. For poison is 14.
Yep.
Death magic is 14.
Yep.
Rod is 16.
Yep.
Staff is 16. Yep. Wand is 16.
Yep.
Petrification is 15.
Yep.
Polymorph is 15.
Yep.
Breath weapon is 17.
Yep.
And spell is 17. Okay, yep. So then in your
+2 from being a paladin.
There's the modifier column to the right of where you put the target.
So I think it's it seems like there doesn't seem to be a place where you can put that for as a universal thing. So I think you just have to put
in each modifier?
Yeah, +2 in each modifier. So yeah, there we go. Perfect.
Done. And
okay.
You said a -2, right?
Yeah. So just roll it, and whatever the result is, we'll subtract 2 from it. So, okay. All right. So
I already put the -2 in.
Yeah. Okay. For the time being, I would say we'll count that for now. But yeah, don't do that, because if you forget, then you have a situational modifier in there that doesn't carry over. We can figure that out from things. So all right. So Webb, that was a failure. Now, what is your strength is 13 or greater?
Wait. Attributes. My strength is 16.
Okay. Creatures with strength 13, between 13 and 17 can break through 1 foot of web per round. And Nico, what is Nico's strength?
17.
Okay, so yes, I'm going to say that without either of you making any checks, with Nico pulling and Arcturus working, you can get Arcturus out of the web on Nico's turn. So Arcturus, you can move your token any place, probably straight north, so it's not touching that line, and you're out of the web. So you could probably move right there. Yeah. All right. Wonderful.
Would I have any time left to finish a move, or would that take my movement and my action?
Yeah, that would be your movement and your action. Running over there, grabbing him, and pulling him out of the way. So that is that. Quint, you are up.
All right. Quint saw this guy pop out, and since he's not in a web, he's going to move over here, and he's going to shoot at that guy with his bow.
Okay. Ooh. Okay. And that is 1 hit.
All right.
AC 0 will hit, the AC 6 will miss.
Even with a +2 that he didn't for shooting him in the back?
Even with a +2 for shooting him in the back, it will miss. So 5 points of damage. He thunders, ouch! but otherwise he doesn't appear to be too terribly hurt by that.
It's going to back up just a little bit more along the tent and
Okay.
hide a little bit.
All right. The studded leather footman. Okay. We're going to get to the bottom of this round, and then we're going to take our break. So the studded leather footman, they're going to start with this guy over here, and they are going to attack. This guy is going to attack a gnoll, and he. Oops. Okay, go on. He hits an armor class of 1. Okay, so that will hit. And he deals he's attacking with a longsword, melee. So he inflicts 1 point of damage. And the gnoll yips. But otherwise does not seem to be too hurt. We have... Okay. This guy's dead, and this guy's dead. So, he's the only one of those guys that gets to go. Talon, you're up.
Well, Talon's going to come up behind this guy and stab him in the back.
Okay, so you get +2.
I get a +4.
Oh, you get a +4. Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, -2. Yeah, that'll hit.
Guess I didn't need to tell you that he doesn't get his dexterity bonus.
Yeah. Yeah, these guys don't have much of a dex bonus anyway. So go ahead and roll damage.
Yeah, I was looking to see what I'm supposed to get extra damage. Forgot what it was.
This is from the. Is this from the Complete Thieves Handbook, or is it from the Player's Handbook?
No, it's in the Player's Handbook.
Okay, so we'll do the rogue, the thief, and then
×2.
Yeah. Okay, so just go ahead and roll the damage, and we'll double it. Ooh! 12 points of damage. Talon, how would you like to kill this guy?
I'm just going to shove my sword straight through him and then pull it straight down through his groin.
Ugh. And he, first of all, he yells in surprise and pain, and then he starts to gurgle as his body just crumples to the ground in a puddle of blood, a bloody mess on the ground.
I just grin at the gnoll.
And the gnoll looks at you and grins back. And so then we have the crossbowman. Okay. So one of these guys is going to get to actually attack. So the crossbowman will attack with a battle axe.
Are they the ones in the webbing?
One of them is fighting one of the gnolls. Two of them are in the webbing. So the guy fighting the gnoll gets to attack with his battle axe, and he hits an armor class 2, which will hit, and he deals 2 points of damage. So this gnoll now takes 2 points of damage. And then these other two guys, they are going to have to do this save thing. They've got to save against spells at -2. So we'll see whether they manage to get out of the whoever. Now, I should have given them the save at the time, but I didn't. So, going to handle this exactly the same way I did with Arcturus. So the first crossbowman, -2. He fails. Second crossbowman at a -2 modifier, and he fails. So the first one rolled an 11, -2 is a 9. Second one rolled a 12, -2 is 10. So they both failed. They are both stuck. And because their strength is less than 13, they cannot get out without help from somebody else. So that is the crossbowman. And that is all the rest of them. The gnoll leader where is the gnoll leader? He's up here. So he, now that his enemy is dead, he growls something to his the gnoll next to him, and he runs down here to attack the brigand leader. And he will make his attack. He gets 1 attack with a battle axe. And he gets +2. It's an AC 11. That misses. All right. Archers. Archers, I think, are all dead, so we can take the archers out of initiative, right? I don't have any archers left. Nope. The archers are there, so they are gone. The guards, however, all four of the guards who are alive get to make spell saving throws at -2. So, that -2, rolling the dice, that's a failure. Second one, -2, that's also a failure. Third one, -2, that's also a failure. And then fourth one, -2, it's also a failure. So 5 -2 is 3, 2 -2 is 0, 12 -2 is 10, and 10 -2 is 8. They all fail, and their strength is under 13, so they cannot get out without help. Then the gnolls. Okay, the gnolls are going to redistribute themselves. One will go here. These two will look at the webs, and they will kind of back up and look around, and then they will hear their leader shouting, so they will run over. They all run over this way. to try to help their leader out. And they will make attacks. So 2 of them on the brigand leader. And this is yep. Oh, that should have been an 8. And this one, AC 4. I did remember to do the +2, so they both miss. And then the last guy, where did he go? Yeah. These 2 guys, they're going to run down here. Oh, that's right. One guy will run here. And these 2 guys will run over here and take up position near men. So then this one guy gets an attack on the crossbowman, which is that AC. And that's a +2. And that's a miss. All right. Arcturus, you are free of the web. You know that there's a bandit leader here, but he's surrounded right now by gnolls.
There's the dead body he could stand over. On that one.
Yeah. There's a dead body you could stand over, so why don't we just move that dead body out of the way? So there's a spot you could attack him, or there's this guy here that you could attack.
I am transfixed by the leader, and I start running to him while shouting, "Forkling at him!" Which, of course, is muffled right now.
Yeah, about you start with the shouting that, and as you run out of the circle of silence, everybody hears "Adin." Okay, so then you can make an attack against this brigand leader.
I will.
And you will get a +2 because he is surrounded and off balance in the parlance of this edition.
Please cling
as opposed to flanked. AC 6. Okay, that's not quite going to hit. All right.
Nope.
And then let's see. All right. I see no response from Archimedes. So that is the end of the round. And before we start the next round, as I said, we're going to go ahead and take our break here. All right. Players will I'm going to put the timer on. Viewers, thank you guys for coming and hanging out with us this evening. This is Combat in 2nd Edition D&D. As you can tell, it works quite a bit different. The lower the number of armor class you hit, the better. The higher the number of armor class you hit, the worse. And all kinds of different saves based on different things. And then spells work very differently in this edition. And as we've seen, Min's web is going to be up for 20 minutes, and she doesn't have to concentrate on it. It's just there. All right. Music is up. Timer is set. And I am going to mute myself. And players, you can either stay here on this channel and chat during the break, or if you want to chat privately, you can go to the off-stream chat. Just remember, everything that is said here is on the stream. So. So, players, how is everybody's week?
Okay.
Good. Got a little bit of time before the break is over. I got back a little early with my water.
Was it started to get cold there?
It has gotten down into the 60s several nights. And the daytime highs a few days have been in the low 80s. There was one day this week where the daytime high barely touched 80. But
we're lucky if we get. We're lucky right now. It's just like night and day. All of a sudden, we had that little spat of Indian summer left, and then all of a sudden, it was just like, "Hi, hey, look, frost." Blah.
Yeah.
And now most of our days, we're lucky if we get above 65. So.
Yeah. So fall has come with a vengeance out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it'll be.
And the leaves have just like turned overnight. It's just like, bah!
Yeah, it'll be probably December before we have a day that the daytime high doesn't break 70. And then it'll be well into the new year before we have nighttime lows that are cold, by any stretch of the imagination.
So now you guys, when do your orange crops and stuff, remember?
They usually get harvested starting, I think, in November and December, because traditionally you can send Florida oranges to people out of state for Christmas. Gotcha. You can't really send them as early as November or as early as Thanksgiving. You got to send them like for Christmas. So
gotcha. Okay.
It's somewhere at the end of November, first part of December when they ripen.
Okay. And I can remember the years that you guys have had really bad. You've had like chances of freezing, and this is back before the internet, really. But you'd hear about people that were out there trying to make sure their crops didn't freeze by having big, huge bonfires and all this other stuff, and big, huge fans rolling along, just trying to keep the air moving.
Yeah, that was the main thing. The citrus was mainly harmed if you would get frost that would form. So you could either have these big burners that would be out there, and a lot of times it'd be like big enclosed metal gas stoves, basically, that they put out. Every so many trees, they would put one out, and they would light it up, and it would radiate the heat out through the night. Or, like you say, they would put the big fans on there that would keep the frost from forming on the fruit and damaging it that way. And then once you had picked the fruit, the strategy changed a little bit, and what they would do is they would put the sprinklers on, and they would spray the sprinklers on the trees, because it really wouldn't hurt the trees and the leaves if it got ice on it. But what it would do is, if you put water on there, it would actually keep the wood and the leaves from getting quite as cold as the air, because once the water froze around it, it would then sort of regulate how cold it would get. and it wouldn't let it get too much colder.
Yeah.
And so that you would go through, in January, if you drove past any orange groves on your way somewhere, you'd see like this whole just forest of all these icicles on these trees and everything. So
cool.
that was like the closest that we ever got to having a wintry vista in Florida. But now, at least in my part of the state, most of the groves have been taken out either through a combination of, a lot of it was in the last 20 years, they've had problems with that citrus greening, where it's kind of a fungal thing that damages the fruit and the plants.
Okay.
And that has killed a lot of the trees or made the fruit unusable. And so there were places where people lost 4 or 5 crops in a row. And once you for agriculture, once you go multiple seasons without a crop, you're done for.
Yeah.
And so most of that land has all been redeveloped now as residential property or business properties or whatnot. So there's just really not many citrus crops around this area anymore. I've always been kind of in suburban parts of Orlando.
Yeah.
And not ever really out in rural areas. All right, but enough of agriculture. Let's go ahead and get back over to our map. We are back at the top of the round. I think we have everybody here. Nobody else heard anything from Bob, right?
No, I didn't hear anything.
Nope.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to leave him on the order just on the off chance he shows up, but I doubt we're going to see him tonight. So we'll just have him up there. And Min, we are back to the top of the round. And remember, this nice, helpful area here is a zone of silence. I don't know if you have any spells left, but you can't get.
But it's color spray, so it's not really an option.
Okay, all right. And you've pretty much tied up. I mean,
I put to sleep and tied up. I haven't dazzled anybody yet.
Yeah.
I'll basically go over to my 2 gnolls that have been protecting me and ask them what their names are as I give them ear scritches again.
Do you speak Gnoll?
You know what? That's a good question.
I'm going to say no.
Probably you don't. In which case, you can ask them their names.
Yes. Half elf can speak Gnoll.
Oh. All right. So you can speak Gnoll. All right, and you ask them their names, and yes, this witch is full of surprises.
Gets worse and worse with the days.
Yes, this witch is.
You want the names? I got them.
No, I have a thing right here. And one of them is called Career Nail. We're going to do that. We're going to say this guy. This one is called Career Nail. Whoops. Dadgummit. Swine button. Okay, and then the other one is going to be called Thrall.
Okay. So Thrall and Swine Button. Sorry. That's what you had said. I was like, what is a swine button?
Well, yeah, swine button. But yeah, crew nail. That's what they will tell you. They'll tell you their names.
Crew nail and swine.
Yeah, thrall.
Thrall.
Yep. All right. Yeah, and Min is kind of like, hey, all you guys, what's taking you so long? I did my part.
And I asked them in their language since they've done such a good job this time, that if they ever go out with us again, do they want to be my personal guards? And I will even make sure they're outfitted so that we all match.
And they look at you, and for some reason they kind of peer at you like they almost seem like you're up to something, and they say, "Oh, we outfit serve Clangadin.
Yeah,
you wear symbol of Clangadin, then we match."
Aw. Well, I meant we could get you all groomed up, and that way we would make a stunning trio.
Ooh. Ooh. And then you see one of them kind of shake his head a little bit and say, "Oh, mate, not like that. Mate like me, Shaggy." And Shaggy and Stinky.
Girl.
Oh, yeah, mate. Yes.
I see.
And they both kind of look at you still suspiciously, for whatever reason. Why are
you looking at me like that?
Oh, just not what we expected from Caster. From Caster.
Mm.
And
I can be a nice person.
And make me a wisdom check. Okay. Yes, with your 12, you will see that they both look at you, and then their eyes cut over towards the paladin, and then back at you.
I see how it is.
Yeah. So they're like.
Then who says I want you to even guard me? Let that guy be a jerk.
And he fight for Clangadin.
That's fine, but he's also a dunderhead.
Dunder.
He's mean.
Oh.
I haven't done anything wrong, and he's being mean to me.
Oh. Oh, he is mean. Oh. Oh. Then
calls me names.
That mean then Thrall says, then that mean he like you.
No.
That what Knoll boy do to Knoll girl that Knoll like.
Well, he's not
be
a
mean.
He's not a Knoll. Really. He doesn't like me because he thinks I'm a witch. I'm just a mage. I'm not a witch.
You twiddle finger and people fall asleep. You
Yes,
twiddle finger and spider webs appear.
Because I'm a mage. I'm a mage. I'm a magic wielder, but I'm not a witch. I don't do rituals and dress up like an old hag and stuff. There's a difference.
Some would say you blessed by Enoch.
Who?
A great spirit leader, a bloodthirsty spirit leader of no people. Enoch.
Okay.
Come in night and bite the throat out of sacrifices.
But
Enoch.
I don't bite people in the neck. Ugh.
Well,
why would I do that? That's kind of mean.
Well, Enoch bless his chosen with ability to twiddle fingers and make magic happen.
Oh. No, I don't. She kind of shakes her head. She's like, I'm not a gnoll, so my power comes from somewhere else. From somewhere good.
Oh. But not from Clangadin. This why he's suspicious.
There are lots of ways of there are lots of gods out there, and just because I don't follow his god doesn't mean that he has to be mean to me. You guys have a different god.
We follow Clangadin.
But you
after Nico. Well, yes, but Gnolls not help us when we get hired and we get pushed aside for hobgoblins. A servant of Clangadin help us, so we follow Clangadin.
She just feels like at this point in time that she's just talking in circles. So she's just like, okay, whatever. But just don't be upset if I get cranky with stupid Dunderhead.
Okay, just please do not make him sleep or strangle him with web.
Why would I do that? We're supposed to be on the same side. We're supposed to be helping each other. Why would I put him to sleep?
Oh, cause he Dunderhead.
Well, he can be a Dunderhead all he wants as long as he leaves me alone.
Oh, and they look at each other and they're kind of scratching, behind an ear, like they're confused about something. And they go, "Okay, we keep eye on him, and eye on you, and
that's fine.
And we."
But just don't let him be a meanie to me.
We have to ask Cleric. We confused.
Well, yeah, so am I.
And so as that conversation finishes, we go to the brigand leader, and the brigand leader finds himself completely surrounded. Brigand leader at this point also has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 people dead. 8 of his followers dead. 6 more are incapacitated. And so he needs to roll a check here. He needs to roll a morale check. And he's going to have a penalty on this because more than half of his guys are down. And he's got to roll Okay. Target number is... Yeah. All right. So, target number is that. Oh, whoops. Sorry. Target number is... That's not... Okay. Oh, I see. That's weird. Okay. It was an 8, not 2 4s. Okay. So it was not 2 successes, it was a failure because the total of 2d10 was greater than 7. All right. It's weird the way it does that. All right. Wasn't doing what I expected. So he will look at... he'll turn to Arcturus, and he keeps hold of his weapon because he's surrounded by gnolls, but he looks at Arcturus and he holds up one of his hands and he says, we yield, please, stop attacking us, please, we yield. And he can't speak Gnoll, but the Gnoll leader is right there, and he bellows out in a loud enough voice that everybody who's outside the zone of silence can hear him. And let's see, Nico, you would be up next. You hear him shout that they yield. And he does not indeed take an attack against Arcturus or anybody else this round. So what would you do? Would you do anything in response to that?
Well, see, there's the conundrum, is the forces of evil, are they wearing cloaks or anything that distinguishes them as cultists?
No. They look more like the bandits that you guys fought on the upper level of the... All
right, so I'm going to move over to one of the people on our side that was injured, and while I do that, because I'm going to start doing first aid, I'll yell, kneel and drop your weapons.
Okay. And as you do, you see this this guy here kneel down, and he puts his weapon on the ground, but he's looking at the gnolls very, very uncertainly. He kind of looks back at you.
Then I'll yell at Arcturus and the chief, accept their surrender.
Okay, and the gnoll leader will shout out something, and those of you that speak gnoll will hear him say, we take the rest captives. Stop killing. We have enough corpses to feed on. And the other gnolls, they quit attacking and they throw their weapons up in the air, or throw a fist with their weapons up in the air, and they raise a mighty gnoll war howl. And after they do that, then they begin a chant of Clangaden, 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 victory.
I get down on the knee to raise a prayer to Killing Adam.
Okay.
Before we're doing that, I tell the gnoll chief, have a couple of your gnolls patrol around the camp to make sure there was nobody else who got away.
Okay.
Then I do first aid. Like I said, I'll do first aid on somebody who was wounded.
This guy was wounded.
It has to be somebody within the last round. So somebody who was injured last round, I can do first aid on.
Okay, I think both of them were hurt in the last round. This guy was wounded, and this guy was wounded. This guy was wounded.
Whoever looks worse hurt.
This guy marginally.
Okay, I'll roll my D3.
Yeah.
Well, let me roll a D3 on here.
You might have to do it the old-fashioned way, /R space 1D3.
I also want to look for if someone of us is hurt.
So I got a +1 for my healing pouch, so it's 2 hit points back.
Okay, which means he is at full.
Plus, when we rest tonight, everyone can get extra hit points because of me. But that's just useful for now.
Okay. All right.
Anyone else hurt?
This Knoll here is the only other person that has been injured on your side of the.
Okay. I go to him and use my healing hands.
Okay, lay on hands.
Lay on hands, yes.
He's down 1 hit point, so can you just give him 1 hit point?
Second
edition, it's a once a day ability and it's the full amount. So you're level 2. I think you do like 2 or 4 hit points or something.
Yeah, at this point, he's going to get that back with recovery, but you can give it to him right now if you want to.
I give it to him to show that I care for my friends.
Okay.
This is how playing Ad and builds fanatics.
Yes, and the Knoll looks at you, and he immediately drops to one knee, and he takes one of your hands in his 2 paws, and he just like licks the back of your hand.
I don't know how to respond, so.
Nico,
I just let it happen.
Yeah, Nico, you see him affectionately licking the back of Arcturus's hand. But yes, this guy will drop. This guy here will drop his weapons, and this guy here, the leader, will drop his weapons. The people in the web, they kind of stop struggling. They don't really have anything they can do. The Knolls will fan out, and one of you will hear. A couple of Knolls call from inside this tent, and they will. They say that they found someone else in here.
So I'll go check that person out for whether or not they're injured. And while I'm at it, I'll ask Quint, who's a ranger, to go with the Knolls around the camp to make sure there's nobody else on like sentry duty that could get away, and give warning that we're here. And ask Talon, well, he's not here, so Archimedes isn't here. Talon and Min, if they would look in the tent, starting with the captain's tent, for papers or documents, anything, clues about who they are, who they work for.
Okay.
Min makes a wide berth around Dunderhead.
Can't we eat first?
I want to go to the gnolls that were speaking with Min and ask if they've seen anything happen.
The 2 guys that were
guarding Min.
Her. Yeah. Okay. They tell you she twiddle fingers and some of the enemies go to sleep. Then she twiddle fingers again and they get caught in big webs. They cannot fight. Then she tell us you are mean to her. And we say that in Null culture, when boy Null is mean to girl Null, it means that boy Null likes her. But she say you not Null. So you mean to her because you like her, or what?
I'm mean to her because I really like her. So you need to keep a close watch on her for me.
And they say, "Oh, okay, we protect her."
And for the twiddling of her fingers, keep a watch on that too. I think she might have wanted to hit me with the web, too.
Oh, well, we see she get 6 enemy, and she get one of you. So,
especially
me. Okay. Well,
I don't want to rush to conclusions yet.
Yes, you can. You can test this. Next time she's going to twiddle fingers, don't get next to enemy. See if her effect get you. If her effect,
she only twiddles her fingers when I'm looking away.
Oh, this true. You're not looking at her when she twiddle fingers.
That's how women know. That's how women know do it.
The paladin's evil too. He uses magic just like she does, and all magic's evil.
My magic is blessed by Klangadan.
Yeah, you freaking fanatic weirdo.
Oh yes, I am, and you know it.
Okay, I'm just going to, for the moment, I'm going to move Arcturus over here. Talon, you see that Arcturus has walked away and is deep in conversation with the 2 gnolls. You also see that Nico is over here tending to the injury of one of these gnolls. And there's kind of a tent between you and him right now. And you have this guy here. What would you like to do?
I would like to harvest some meat.
Okay. There is a tent here. You're gonna drag him into the tent?
No, I'm doing it right there.
Okay. Men, as you walk past Talon, Talon kind of has a little bit of a feral look in his eyes, and he goes down on his knees and he selects sort of a nice, what would be a choice cut? Leg,
I'll
shoulder.
take some off the thigh, but I'm also going for the liver.
Okay.
She, at that point in time, she just looks totally aghast and smacks him upside the head, literally. Just, whap! What you doing? That's creepy!
Uh-oh.
I'm getting food.
Food? Do you mean you're a cannibal? Ah! No! Yuck!
If you died and I was hungry, I would eat your flesh too.
You're just weird. Oh my god. So she reaches into her belt pouch and she pulls out this piece of hardtack and a piece of jerky. Eat this instead. Weirdo.
And
I go back to my business.
As the
Nico!
as Talon is over there. Okay. As Talon is over there too.
We're gonna have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Two of the gnolls, not the leader. So it wouldn't be the leader. The leader's gonna stay here. But
oh, he's being weird.
These 2 gnolls will come over and they will pull out their belt knives and they will go to and start cutting off hunks of this guy as well, men. So
and she's like, no. Yuck.
And they
why would you want to eat spoiled meat?
And they look up. The gnolls look up at Min.
And Min is pointing down like, why would you eat spoiled meat?
And if you ask them that in Gnoll, they say, not spoiled, it's fresh. This best kind of meat.
He was a bad person. He's got bad meat. You can't eat him. He'll taste awful and make you sick.
No, we put spices. We cook.
No. Nico!
We cook organs and make spices. We make stew. We can ferment. Make blood wine.
He just looks really green around the gills at this point in time. She's like,
I'm hungry enough as it is. Can you all stop talking about it?
So she still tries to shove this piece of jerky towards Talon. Eat this instead. Sit and chew on this.
Okay, so we are out of initiative, and there's this commotion going on over there. Nico and Arcturus, Quint and everyone else. Now we have to make sure that the prisoners who are
don't escape,
not dead, are accounted for. So what are you guys going to do about them in the first place?
I want to take the 2 gnolls with me and find some rope so we can tie up the prisoners that are webbed.
Okay, so there's going to be a total of 3 prisoners. We'll just bring this guy over here. This guy, they pull him out. He's still sleeping. They very gently pull him out, and he's just. he apparently was hit by the.
Have I ever seen Have I ever seen Talon do this before?
I don't know.
I mean,
Talon?
I've been around you guys long enough.
He ate the bugbears. He hasn't eaten people.
Archimedes has, but I don't know about the rest of them. But I think Archimedes told you all.
Not me.
Yeah, not you.
Not Arcturus. No.
Bugbears is one thing. Eating humans is another.
No difference. Meat is meat.
Yeah, there's a big difference.
So Nico's in the tent chilling with whatever that prisoner last person is, and doesn't know exactly what's going on yet. So just so I'm not making a decision yet that's going to be important.
Okay. All right. So
if you don't answer her, she's going to start calling out for Quint.
I want to tell the gnolls to round up the prisoners.
And we asked Quint and a couple gnolls to go a circuit around the camp to make sure there were no sentries or anyone with tracks running away, so we don't give away our position.
Yeah, the gnolls will spread out and make circuits around the camp. A couple of them will come over here, and they will start one by one working on pulling these guys out of the webs. And as they pull them out, they will tie them up. And they will then begin to bring them over. So, and then I guess these 2 guys, after they finish a circuit of the camp, one of them will actually go over. No, wait, not them. Thrall will actually come over to Min, and we'll see what the commotion is all about. So then that means that.
Where's the leader of the gnolls? Is it the one in the middle?
Leader is right here. Yes.
Good.
So Thrall comes up to you, and because he's heard you yelling and everything, and he looks at Talon, looks at his friends, looks at the body of the prisoner here, sees their knives out, and then he looks at you men, and he says, "What wrong?
Are you a half elf or an elf? Or human? I can't remember.
You who?
Talon.
Talon is a halfling.
Talon is a halfling.
But he doesn't look like halflings that you know.
He looks like he's proportioned like a human child, and he has a kind of sharpened teeth as opposed to normal humanoid flatter teeth. His teeth are a little bit sharper and more predatory.
She points to Talon and looks at Thrall and goes, "He's trying to eat this person. That is disgusting. It's okay for you guys because, you're gnolls, but he's, She just, at this point in time, she's kind of like turns away, throws her hands up in the air and walks off because
Talon stands up, puts his meat into a bag and says, "I identify as Gnoll."
And about this point in time, she just walks off looking really green. That's disgusting.
And he will tell you, Clank and teach not to waste resources. These dead enemies can feed pack for a month. No need to hunt. Good food.
Do I hear the commotion there?
It sounds like Min is like walking off in frustration, and Thrall is gonna keep an eye on her, and will call out to one of these other gnolls just to sort of keep an eye on her, but not gonna stop her from going wherever she wants to go. So
she doesn't go far, but she just goes so that she doesn't have to see what's going on.
Okay, all right, maybe go around to the back of the tent. So, yeah, he'll just sort of go over here, and he looks at his friend and looks at Min, and he just sort of shrugs his shoulders and shakes his head like, "What's wrong with her?" And then he's kind of, well, maybe the paladin was onto something. Maybe there is something wrong with her. So, all right. So, Arcturus, you're over here with the Gnoll leader. What did you want to do?
Did I hear anything of the commotion where they did Min scream or something like that? Before
I was calling out for Nico, though.
Yeah, you heard her calling out.
Basically telling things like, "Don't! You're not supposed to eat them! Fuck!"
I'm just assuming she meant the notes and give it no further thought.
Yeah.
Okay. With the leader together, I wanted to take the bandit leader and go into the biggest tent with him together.
Okay.
Let's take the leader. We need to interrogate him.
And they're like, okay. And so the bandit leader is here. And the Gnoll leader will go in here with you. All right. Well, I'm sorry. Arcturus. And then, yeah. And then these two guys will be tied up and brought over here. And now there are several gnolls guarding these guys. They will report to Nico and Quint and anybody that wants to know that the rest of the camp appears clear. One will just sort of stay where they can keep an eye on Min. Another one will just sort of go around the webs to the other side of the camp and just sort of take a look at what's going on. these gnolls, after they get their fill, they will come over here and sort of keep guard over the prisoners.
Is the tent closed or?
The flaps at the end can be left open, so it's open at this end here, but otherwise it's closed.
Okay.
You can close it off if you want, or you can leave it open.
I close it off.
Okay, so you close it off, and the gnolls just kind of chuckle, and these prisoners, they're just looking very nervous, all except for the one that's asleep, who seems like he's dreaming peacefully. All right, so the gnoll leader just picks up the guy's long sword, looks at it, and turns it over, and then looks at Arcturus and says, "Shiny." In Gnoll.
It is indeed a very shiny sword. A little too shiny for a common bandit. As I turn to the bandit leader.
He says,
"Ready to get it."
I earned it.
Is that the bandit leader or the gnoll?
The bandit leader says, I earned it.
From whom? You don't seem to be able to make such weapons.
It was part of my payment from my days as a mercenary.
So you were a mercenary before you became a bandit?
Yes. My sword was... Make a wisdom check. I don't think we have... I don't think there's any proficiencies for paladins like that, but make a wisdom check and see. Yeah, you succeeded on your wisdom check. He seems like he's telling the truth. That he was a mercenary, and that this was part of the payment. Now, you also know that from mercenaries, they often their reward often comes from the spoils of war. So, this might be a sword that belonged to a defeated enemy that was given.
What are you doing with your band of bandits here?
Well, we were on our way from Nulb over towards Hamlet. There was a group of us that was over there. We haven't heard from them in a couple of weeks. They're supposed to keep cargo coming towards Nulb, and that's dried up.
Are there any more of you around here?
There might be.
I take out my sword.
Okay.
You want to elaborate on that?
He looks at your sword, and he looks at you, and then he looks over his shoulder at the gnoll.
I have this kind of crazy glint in my eyes.
Yeah, and you have a crazy glint in your eyes, and the gnoll just sort of sneers and shows his fangs and growls, kind of this guttural growl. And the guy, he kind of looks very nervous now, and he says, We're the only group that we know of that went this direction, but from Nulb, there are others. We all work for
Yes.
Now I have to look and see in the village of Nolb. Who is the we all work for Wrench.
Does that name say anything to me?
No. We're gonna put this in here, and it's going to be brigand leader says they work for someone named
Wrench.
in Nolb. Okay. All right. So that is there. So Wrench. We all work for Wrench.
Could you tell me more about Wrench?
And he says, he kind of looks at you and he shrugs, his shoulders sag a little bit. As though he realizes, okay, he's already started talking. He says, yeah, Wrench runs the Waterside Hostel. He's also the contact for the pirates that operate out of Nulb.
Is Arcturus alone in there? Is there anyone else around?
The Null leader is in there with him.
Mm-hmm.
And the Null leader is keeping a hold on this guy.
I'll tell the Null leader to keep an eye on him. I'm going to get someone. And I go out and try to get Nico. So I'm going to Nico.
Okay. All right.
I need a second opinion.
So, Nico, Arcturus comes looking for you. Take care of it. It was this guy here.
Okay.
This guy here who's still asleep. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then after that, I would go over and I would ask Arcturus to use his divine ability from Clyden to let me know if these are just neutral mercenaries doing a job or if they're evil.
Okay. Well, you can ask him that when he comes to find you. So yeah, he has been in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was going to talk to him after.
Okay. Yeah, he's come out of the tent to look for you. So he's right here now. And Nico's right over here. So Arcturus, you walk up to Nico. Go ahead.
Nico, I need your help deciphering some things in the tent. If you wouldn't mind.
Sure, absolutely. What have you learned so far? Let's talk out here away from the captain of the bandits first.
I've learned that they have a leader in Nope. His name is, I think, Wrench. He's the owner of a hostel, and he also works with pirates. I think we've got a big thing here, or at least the fish of a big thing. And
did they tell you anything else about why they're out here?
Not yet. I say with a wink of my eye. That's why I wanted to get your help.
Then I'll accompany him over to the tent to go question the captain some more. And as we're walking over and in, I'll be like, hey, use your divine ability of Clayadin to let us know if these are evil bandits or just mercenaries doing a job.
I will do that. I will detect evil from the ones that are still alive, because the dead ones I don't care for.
Okay. This is using the paladin. She's using one of the paladin abilities, detect good and evil. Is that right?
Yep. Can detect the presence of evil intent.
Oh.
Not detect good and evil. That's a 5e.
Yeah. Paladin can detect the presence of evil intent up to 60 feet away. Yeah.
Even monsters and characters.
Yeah. Okay. As you focus on the tent and the bandits, absolutely, there is evil intent from all of them, and they look scared, but your divine sense lets you look through. Genuinely, they are frightened of the situation they're in, but they're already looking at, okay, how can we maybe kill a few of these gnolls if we get free. It seems like they are less interested in escape than they are in
murder,
killing some of the people that have captured them. Yeah. So that's kind of the intent that you read.
I talked to Nico again. They don't seem like common bandits. Common bandits would try to escape. Those seem more murdery.
All right, when we go in, I want to search the belt pouches and pockets and like boots for like secret I want to ask Talon, like I call out for, hey Talon, come help do this, and Min and any of the group, Quint, well, he's walking around doing the guard stuff, but I call out for everybody else to go search through the camp for any symbols like the ones on those cloaks that we found.
Okay.
I want to go to the gnolls and tell them that they should raise their weapons on them, and if they try to move, should strike them down.
Okay.
They seem to be wanting to escape.
And
those wretched bastards.
And they, the gnolls, they all will bare their fangs, and they'll kind of take up that growl that the leader had, and now the sweat starts popping out on the brows of the bandits. They're still that evil intent, but now they're really afraid.
I'm also talking gnoll, so they can't understand what I'm saying.
Oh, that's true. All right. But they do react fearfully with the gnolls taking a more threatening posture. Yeah,
understandable.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, that's something that frightens them, and all right, so Talon,
to the tent.
Okay, you guys can move your tokens into the tent. Talon and Min, and or Quint, if anybody is looking in tents or looking in personal belongings of the bandits, you find no evidence that they have any of the symbols of the yellow eye or anything like that Lareth and his followers did. They are all just appear to be ruffians that have kind of mismatched armor. Some of them, while they have gauntlets on, like the right gauntlet and the left gauntlet don't even seem to be from the same set. Some of them, their armor is patched up. Some of it is well made. Some of it is pretty shoddy. These are clearly not people that are outfitted in any kind of a organized military force. They do seem like a group of bandits that are out for whatever they can get. And so before we go back into the tent, Quint, you've been doing a circuit around the camp. Anything in particular that you're doing? Or
just looking at maybe if I see anybody that's maybe kind of leaving the area, or if there's any tracks of somebody leaving the area, just making sure that there isn't someone that got away to go find backup or, alert somebody else that we were here?
No, you find, obviously, other than your own tracks coming to this place, you find the tracks that the bandits used. It doesn't seem like they have any pack animals or wagons or anything. They were trekking across land. There's evidence that they came and set up this camp. You can kind of see where they were walking around setting up the tents. A few sets of tracks go off, but then they double back, and it looks like they were probably dragging firewood with them when they came back. And you don't see any evidence of anybody leaving this area that's fresher than the tracks of the people, your group and their group coming here.
Sure.
So you're pretty sure that they got here and they haven't left. Or maybe they did go out to gather stuff, but those people came back before you guys got here.
Makes sense.
All right. Then we'll go back into the tent. So now, Nico.
Question about the Paladins detect evil. It does say at the last line that it can detect monsters and evil monsters and characters. So, not just intent. Did he detect that they are evil, the non-player characters, or did he just detect evil intent? Because a neutral character could have evil intent.
Oh no, these are people with evil alignment. And remember, they've clarified in D&D over the years, and I tend to like this definition of good and evil. Good in D&D parlance mainly looks at you look out for the welfare of others at least as much, if not more, than your own welfare. When you want to do something, you take into account how it's going to affect other people. So that is a good alignment. An evil alignment is all about putting yourself first and getting a benefit for yourself ahead of other people. So now clearly
exploitative, not necessarily banal.
Right. So clearly people that want to take shortcuts by, listening to promises of power from demonic, entities or evil gods that say, hey, all you have to do is go kill these people and it'll give you great power. Well, that's evil because they care about what they get and they don't care who gets hurt. And if they're told they have to kill somebody to get power, that's fine. They're just going to go kill somebody. And
that frames the questions I'll ask him then, because I wasn't certain if they were just monsters that looked like people or just people that were self-absorbed.
They are clearly people that are out for themselves, which makes them of evil alignment.
Okay, so then, since Arcturus let me know about them being friends with pirates, and they sound like they're smugglers. When I come in, I'll be like, "So, what's the product you're moving between towns?"
And he will say, whatever the bandits that operate closer to Hamlet can capture from caravans. They've been making some pretty good hauls over the last few months. Normally, they will send people back to Nulb with the merchandise, but we haven't seen anything in about a week. Stuff is overdue. So we were sent to see what's going on, what the holdup is.
I whispered to Arcturus and Dwarven, because like lying is a specific type of evil intent. I'm going to tell him to pay attention if he lies about this question or not. And then I draw on the ground in front of him the symbol of the eye. And I'm like, have you seen this or do you recognize the symbol?
I try to look for evil intent in his lies.
He looks at it, he squints, and he
in fact, I can even pull out a cloak. We had them in our bag, so I'll pull out one of the cloaks and put it out so you can see it.
And as soon as you pull out a cloak, his eyes widen in recognition, and he says, "Yes, I've seen some of those. Bunch of crazy bastards."
You just saved your life with that question, with that answer.
Oh, yes.
I look at Arcturus and I'm trying to see whether or not he seemed like he was lying about the crazy line.
And Arcturus, no. This guy is evil, but he thinks that the people who wear that are dangerous and crazy.
He is an evil bastard, but he wasn't lying about his.
So you were, and Arcturus tells me you were a mercenary. Is there a reason you gave that up, or is that something you're still interested in?
War ended.
The war against evil never ends, child.
And he looks at you, and he sees your symbol, and he says, "You're some kind of priest."
Yeah, I'm a crusader. I'm a priest who kills evil shit.
I let him talk.
And he says,
he's a paladin. He's even better at it.
"You're hunting those people that wear those cloaks."
We're trying to prevent those people who wear those cloaks from unleashing untold evils that'll eat your soul and flay your skin while you're alive.
And when you say that, his eyes widen and he gets a look of genuine terror on his face. And he says, "I knew they were bad. I didn't know they were that bad."
You ever heard of the I'm not even going to say the name of it, but let's just say that dark gods are involved.
Oh.
So here's your choices right now. I can tell you and your friends want to like strike back at us. I know a bunch of your compatriots are dead. Is that something you can let go of for your future survival and for you all to like potentially even make some coin? Or is that something that's going to stick with you? And you would rather go serve out a jail sentence since they don't have any proof you've killed anyone or murdered anyone. You're just idiotic bandits right now. You're not murderous bandits. Or do you want to have a chance at a better future? Hey, and I look at Arcturus and I'm like, tell me if he lies. And I say that.
Respect.
And he'll look at you. Oh, and now his posture changes a little bit, because now he feels like he's in a little bit more of a position where he's not probably going to immediately have his throat bitten out by one of these gnolls. And he says, "How much does it pay?"
How much were you making as a mercenary for like a reasonably good job on a monthly basis?
We were making, and there's a little hesitation, and he says,
I look at him with a glint in my eye.
I was making 8 gold a month. Each of my men was making 6 gold a month. And
I laugh.
what are
like,
you?
Our Knoll brothers have made more than that in the last 2 weeks.
And he looks back at the gnolls and looks at you and says, "No shit."
I look at the Knoll chief. I'm like, You want to confirm that to this guy so he knows that we're speaking the truth?
I tell it to the Chief.
Do we pay? Do your brothers in Clang Adden pay their debts?
And the gnoll reaches into a pouch and pulls out a few gold coins, and
you get some platinum in there too, if you remember,
and some platinum, 1 or 2 platinums, and he smiles broadly at the at the leader, and he says, "Brigands pays all debts from the evil ones." And the bandit leader, he looks at the gnoll, he looks at you, he looks at Arcturus, he looks back at the gnoll, and he says, "I always knew that the Dwarven Pantheon was one of the strongest pantheons. How do I profess my faith in Clang Adden? What do I have to do?"
Praise Clang Adden. And I'll leave. I'll be like, Brother Arcturus, discuss with him negotiate and talk with him briefly about loyalty and the precepts of Clang Adden while I go talk to our fellow party members, because I should get their input before we make any binding accords. But right now on the table is either your imprisonment or your service, but your service will be well paid.
I start to tell him about Clang Adden and the code of honor of Clan.
And he is just listening to this and kind of eating it up. And he seems a bit relieved, and he seems to like what he's hearing. Well, they get to shed blood. They get to have spoils of their battles. They get to, okay.
Training.
They get extra training. This is starting to sound like a pretty good deal here. definitely better than going to jail. And hey, and it pays money too. By the way, can one thing for the paladin?
Yes.
Is there you guys were sort of listening for evil intent?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm trying to take a look at. Yeah. Okay.
A self-serving lie would be a good specific version of evil intent.
You get the impression that when he tells you what his monthly wage was and what the wages of his men were, that he was inflating the number a bit.
I'm a dwarf. Of course they lie about how much money they make.
Yes, that's not so surprising for me.
Okay. So
I don't say anything about that right now.
Okay. All right.
But I want to go talk to Quint, Talon, Min, and the rest of the group and be like, hey, these guys aren't cultists. They're just smugglers and working with bandits to smuggle goods. They're basically black market profiteers who used to be mercenaries. So we can either turn them over to authorities or we can recruit them and we have more minions. But we got to pay them. So what do y'all think? Oh, by the way, they're becoming converts of Clang Adden, so we're not executing them if
hear this
we don't agree with them.
Quiet little groan.
You got to convert everybody.
Praise Clang Adden.
You're really lucky.
You. Sorry.
How many of them are alive at this point? By the way, I forget.
9,
including the leader, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9 alive and 9 dead. So you reduce
50% discount.
I mean, what are the gnolls gonna eat?
We still have 9 dead.
They still have 9 dead. Yeah.
I'm like, well, I'm trying to teach the gnolls not to eat talking sentient creatures, but like, a predator is going to be a predator.
And meat is meat, I say.
That's right. Meat is meat.
I look at you and I'm like, we're going to talk later in Dwarven.
Min just kind of looks green again.
Yeah, Talon. You hear the paladin say meat is meat, and he's looking at the gnolls when he says that, and it's like, maybe this guy isn't so bad after all.
For a Clang-Adden worshiper.
He's got the right worship attitude.
Well, the paladin's down for it. The cleric's like, there's a distinction here.
All right.
But are you all okay with that? And like, do you all want to be involved in the negotiations? Because it seems like we can have 9 more reasonably loyal followers if we pay well. And don't expect them to be like throwing their lives away for the cause.
We're going to have to tie them up every night so we can sleep.
That's true. Until we can bring them back to like somewhere where we can use them. But
we could start with only a few and keep the others as prisoners.
I think we
run away.
I think we can have this work out in our favor.
I do think so too.
We could just take their arms and armor, and then, if we think there's going to be a fight, we give it back.
When you talk about taking their arms,
just take their weapons, leave them in their armor.
You see Min turn green, and she's like tries to go find a corner to throw up in.
We could bring them back, at least some of them back to the castle.
They could be good guards.
With the watcher, with the guard there.
They would make good guards. They would make decent guards.
Yes. We should take away their weapons and give them sticks, but, maybe they can earn their weapons back at a later time when we can trust them maybe a bit more.
I think it's going to put us behind by about a day, but I think we create a camp here, and we have a small group take that, I don't know, I don't want to split the party. I think we might have to, run back to the Moat house, leave them there, and then come back, and then keep going.
Say we should go all together, since there is still a lot of prisoners. If we're going in a small group, they may just try to overthrow the group. You can't forget.
Yeah, I agree.
They're still normal bandits.
So let's keep them prisoner for a couple days. But I think that let Quint, Talon, Arcturus, Min, and Archimedes, when Archimedes is back, talk with them, interview, figure out if it's a good idea. But I think we might have some guards we can pay. That'll be additionally skilled soldiers for when the cultists come.
Well,
and they won't go to prison.
The gnolls and I could stay here and clean up, and the rest of you could take them away.
Clean up?
Yeah, dispose of the bodies, the tents, all that stuff.
I want to look for evil intent in his voice.
Okay. I'm gonna say that, and this is because of something the DM knows that the other PCs do not know. You look for evil intent, and you don't sense any evil intent. You sense that he is basically he's talking about cleaning up in the same way that a farmer might talk about cleaning up his crops after there was a devastating storm. Okay. It just seems like it's something that's just natural, and he's not doesn't have any kind of nefarious intent to it.
I start to smile and wink at him and say, "You do that."
I think might actually even be a better idea. Are we going to be going back to the Moat house after we do our scouting, or are we going to cut around the fortress we're going to evaluate and go straight to Nulb and then back? Or are we going back to the Moat house and then to Nulb?
We should go to the Moat house, I think.
Okay.
First, since we are closer to it. And walking around with guards when maybe enemies that can attack us, with prisoners when enemies can attack us is not a good idea. They could start a revolt. Or just run away, you know? Anyone answering on that?
I think that based on the code of mercenaries, we can hire these people, and they don't have no one's so gone to the darkness that they can't be brought back to light, and they want to work for Klingon. So I think we need to figure out a way to capitalize on that, and I don't know what that looks like. So if we all want to have lose 2 days, can we spend a day to get here? And sorry, baby sounds. If we that's the other Nico. If we want to just spend the time, we could take the day back in here and just do a fast run, leaving a camp, the Knolls and Talon. We need Quint to go with us to make sure we get back safely and here safely. But we can make a quick run and lose a little bit of time, but leave this little mercenary company under the authority of the sergeant at our Moat house. So there'll be another squad or 2 squads that work for him.
I agree with my dwarven friend here. We should leave maybe 2 to 3 men here to clean up with Talon, and the rest are coming with us to bring back the prisoners, and after that we return. And to bring back the new mercenary band. Workers with pay.
I need the Knoll leader to stay because I don't speak Knoll.
Yeah, we need to leave the Knoll leader. But does that sound like a good plan? Leave the Knoll leader and Talon here with some Knolls to have a forward camp. And then the rest of us make a forced march back and then back here as fast as we can
But we
to
get
them off.
We'll get
We
the
should
other
only leave
stuff
about
and
3.
move it here. We'll move the other camp here.
Great. I was hungry for that deer.
How much do you want to tie up the prisoners?
For tonight, of course, we're not going to come to accords tonight. We'll leave them tied up. It's a better negotiating position for tomorrow.
And even we walk back. They'll
Now,
be
we
tied up for now.
have to show some trust. We should let them wear their armor, but we'll just keep their weapons on the wagon and then give them their weapons if we have an issue.
But have their hands tied or not? That's the point.
Have them walk in front of the wagon and
the
don't
gnolls
have
behind
their
them.
hands tied. Leave their hands free.
Okay, but I want them
And
surrounded by the gnolls.
We'll just have Min on the wagon behind them. She can always take out a group of them all at once. She's pretty powerful that way.
Yes, that's why I'm saying the gnolls should walk right next to them.
Noticing that I'm still here.
I've mentioned your name, or every single person's name every single time.
I'm ignoring her.
That's not Min. I don't know who that is, but it's not Min.
That's the witch.
All right.
No,
well,
I don't have to put up with this. I could go use my talents elsewhere. Gee, don't bother to worry about using my sleep spell.
Can you send men back when you leave?
And, I wound up catching a whole bunch of them in some webs and stuff. So, next time I'll just let you guys do all of the work.
Yeah. As you all think about the way the battle unfolded, Min is kind of responsible for taking at least half of the enemies out of the battle, over half. Wound up putting a total of 5 of them to sleep and captured 6 of them in the webs. Yeah, there were 10 that you initially saw, but then there was that one guy that had been caught in the sleep spell who was inside the leader's tent.
I give you that. Your witchery seems to help us.
I am not a witch. If you keep calling me that, I'll go take my stuff elsewhere.
Children, stop. I look at Arcturus. A witch is someone who gets their powers through weirdness. The wizards and mages are because they're nerds who study a lot. We've had them in school. They're the ones who build everything. Be nice.
Do I see any books on her?
Yes.
Yes, actually,
he reaches around behind her cloak and pulls out a book. See?
Stop making smart people mad.
I'm still not convinced.
Magic will destroy this world.
She just tosses
That's
up
a
her
good opinion.
hands at this point in time, and she says, you know what? You guys do whatever you want to with these weirdos, and you let that little shrimp over there with the sharp teeth eat humans. And you know what? I think I'm going to go back to town where people are a little more nice and normal.
Okay, now she told me he's a cannibalism. How do I respond?
All right, so here's the deal. We're having tempers. We're going to spend the night here anyway. They're going to stay tied up for tonight. We keep. I look at the chief of the Knolls. I'm like, please post guards throughout the night, and then we'll reconvene this conversation in the morning after I spend some time praying that Clang Adden gives everyone wisdom. But let's not keep going down this road.
Okay, and as everybody begins to get ready for the evening, we have actually gone a little bit beyond our time, so I want to be respectful of everybody's schedule. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up here, and we will end the session here. We will pick up next time with the party deciding. I think the party has kind of decided they want to head back to the Moat house to see what they're going to do with these folks here, the bandits that they've just captured. And then once they make that determination at the Moat house, they will decide what to do next. And so we'll pick up with that decision starting next time. Okay, well, thank you, players, for joining this evening. Thank you for coming out and playing. And viewers, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Just to let you guys know, on the stream, there's not going to be a Walker of Waterdeep game tomorrow. We are actually taking 3 Sundays in a row off from that campaign because of conflicts in my schedule. We will be back with that game on the 14th. On Monday night, we are going to have our Monster Monday, and we will be looking at the Ashen Rider, which is, I believe, a monster that comes into D&D out of Magic the Gathering, and we're going to be looking at how they converted that monster and see how that might give you some ideas of how to convert other monsters. I'll also talk a little bit about, in my homebrew planeswalking game, what I have had to do to homebrew monsters that appear normally in Magic the Gathering expansions and do not have a stat block in D&D that was created for them. Then we will be back on Thursday night for our Sword Coast Chronicles, which is our 5th edition survey of the published campaigns out of Wizards of the Coast. So please join us for those games. We hope that you have enjoyed this evening. Players, Casca, do you have something coming up in November, or was it somebody else that had something coming up in November?
Yeah, there's an online con, EU con. It's actually the same weekend as the Roll20 con. The 12th, 13th, and 14th, I believe, of November. Okay.
November 12 through 14, Yukon. And you can find that information online, right?
Yeah, you can find a Warhorn.
Okay. Convention online. Find info at, and it's warhorn.com.
I put the link in the Discord.
Oh, okay. Let me grab that link. And excellent. Wonderful. Okay. Put that in the Twitch chat for everyone. Okay, wonderful. Thank you. And does anybody else have anything coming up in the next couple of weeks that they want folks to know about? All right. Well, we will see you guys next Saturday. Hope you have a great week. And